Hello mate, and welcome to Making Shiz, the channel for people who like making things. So I've been sculpting this week. I've been trying to sculpt my dog Smudge. By all means, I'm not an expert. The whole point of this channel is to show you that you can do it yourself, just through tutorials and things like that on YouTube. So this is me with all the little tricks and tips I've learned from YouTube, condensing in one video that you're about to see here. So have a go yourself, like and subscribe. Enjoy. And subscribe. And like. And like and subscribe. So guys, first thing you'll need is a picture of your dog, preferably to the scale you want to model, from above and to the sides, as many photos as you can as possible. So I've got them cut out, so I have something to work by. So all I'm doing here is getting my wire, which is going to be like the skeleton of the model. I'm just starting to make the shape of Smudge. So length of the body, length of his legs. He's going to be sat down, so I won't have to bother with the back legs so much. So just getting some tin foil, building up his body, so I don't have to use so much clay. Just roll out a strip of clay, gonna add it on, bulk out that body. So as you can see there guys, I'm just offering up the model to the photo just to get the scaling right, i.e. the legs, head, tail, things like that. It's all got to be in proportion. When it all comes together, it'll look right. So I'm slowly building the body up, and then I'll gradually smooth that in and add the legs. So with the legs, you'd be tempted to insert them into the wire, but this will go wrong, it won't go right. So cut a slit all the way down the leg, wrap it round the wire, then smooth in, just as I'm doing there. You're just about to see. Helps if you can actually see what I'm doing, doesn't it? Sorry about that. So yeah, slit, leg in, smooth in, leg on. So I'm going to start the back legs now. So what I've done is just break down them shapes. So like a circle and then two little sausages, mixing them together. Hopefully if you followed your photo, watched the muscle lines around the shoulder or the little chest bits, obviously he's got a rib cage that goes in, just follow the photo, offer it up against each other, they should look similar. So now I'm just going to move on to the head. So these two pictures, one's slightly bigger than the other, but I want to kind of in between. I'll do, so I'm just warming up the clay and I'm going to mould his head. So as you can see, I'm offering it up, making sure all the dimensions are right, watching that jawline, going over different angles of the photo. So as you can see, I'm just watching where his eyes are, where his nose is, making sure it's all scaled correctly from differing angles. So I'm working from above here, whoops, can't really see what I'm doing. So with the photo, I was struggling to see where Smudge's back was, so I'm just going to cut the photo along the line of his back so I can see, and then I can offer up the model. So as I found, if you use your photo to maximum effect and just follow the outline of your photo, you automatically come out with a dog shaped item. I suppose this could be used on anything really. As you can see, I'm just offering it up. It should look something like this. He's got his eyes in. Now I have to just do his ears, some detailing. The head will have to come off just for easy access, but yeah, at this stage should look like this. Sorry guys, I've gone out of screen again there, but basically I'm trying to put the little bits of detail into his nose and get more of the shape of it. So obviously I'm scaling his nose, scaling his eyes, scaling his muzzle, all against these photos, and it should all come together. Just follow your lines, break the shapes down. So his muzzle is like a big round shape. Obviously his nose is round, his eyes are round, and then he's got weird like eyebrows, big bushy eyebrows, which I tried to get in there. His ears were tricky as well because they like flop down at a weird angle. So yeah, every time you make two of something, so the legs, the ears, offer them up against each other. They have to be identical, otherwise when you mould them on, one's going to be big and one's going to be little. So I've taken Smudge's head off just so I can add detail around the body without knocking him and spoiling it. And also I'm going to spend a lot of time on Smudge's head because that is the focal point. I'm going to do some resin eyes, which I've done a separate video on. Hopefully I can put a link in for that. So this is a close-up of me doing the fur. I did buy a little stylist and it was a godsend. It worked really well. All you have to do is draw lines, not necessarily straight because hair doesn't always go straight, following the flow of the hair. So sometimes it goes sideways, like across the leg, or down, like across his back. So if you follow the hairlines on the photo as well, it should all add up. It should look something like this. So as you can see there, it looks pretty good. So once you're happy with that, measure and scale your tail. Now the next thing to go in, and the nails. I've already baked the nails. I did it like a little boomerang shape. You'll see them in a minute. They're at the top of the screen there, the little boomerang shapes. They're going to be his nails, and they're already pre-baked. So this is his head, obviously. I put the eyes in. I used some white palm clay for them. As I say, I've done a tutorial on resin eyes, and that's what these will be. But obviously I'm not going to put resin in the oven, so they're just the bare basic at the minute. So all I'm doing is, again with the stylist, putting in his hair around his face. So around his muzzle, around his eyes. The stylist's got two different sizes as well on either side, so use varying. Hair's just not one size, or flow I should say. So once you're truly happy with it, this guy will go in the oven for 130 for 10 to 12 minutes, and then we'll move on to the rest of his body. So he's in the oven. This is me doing his nails. Tricky, get them little boomerang shapes in. Then we're going to add the tail, not forgetting the hair. Smooth that in all nice, and we're ready to put his head back on. So it looks like I've forgotten to do one of the nails. So as you can see, I've made a hole there. I'm going to get one of them little boomerang things slotted in there. It is really tricky, but stick with it, it is a good effect. So head's back on. So what I need to do now is hide that joint line. So I can do that with a dog collar. So I've cut a thin long strip of clay. I'm just going to wrap it round where the joint is. So once you're happy with all your detail, guys, and you're happy with the way it looks, it's time to bake for the rest of the body. So everything goes in, the head will be baked again, the eyes will be baked 3 times now, but it doesn't matter, once it's done, it's done. So now he's out the oven, he's ready to paint. So I'm just making base coats, so mixing up them colours. Get your colour of your dog, obviously it's all white dog or all black dog, then you're really lucky. Smudge is like 5 different colours. It's really tricky to do. But as I say, guys, I'm not an artist. This is me just trying it out, everything I found on YouTube. So as they suggest on YouTube, start with your bases. So it's mainly black and light brown. So I'm just doing that, and then I'll hone them colours in, adding little strokes one at a time. This does take some time, guys. Looking back on it, I wish I'd just sprayed in spray paint like a nice gold colour, like an ornament. but with my resinising, I think he's come along pretty well. And now I'm just homing in them details. So another little tip for you guys. So I've started with a grey there. I've mixed up a darker grey. I'm just going to go over the top of his head with that, and that gives the effect of him, the grey effect if you like. But you can do that with browns, blacks. It shouldn't be, unless it is, one dramatic colour to another. It should be some blend, like an in-between colour. So as you can see, I'm just homing in everything I can see on that photo. As best as I can, obviously. Not an artist. I know the paintwork's not brilliant, but it does get better than this. So as you can see, the darker colour, I'm just coming down with the hair effect. All I'm doing is, I've got a little small brush, well, small as I've got, just stroking it down, dark into light. So again, more detail around the eyes and nose, and then I'm going to move on to the dog tag. For the dog tag, all I did was print out a little bone on a bit of paper, put it onto the clay like I have here. I'm going to cut that out. I've got a little bit of wire left over. I'm going to go around my stylist, and you have yourself a dog tag. So again, last little detail with the hair around smudge, then I'll move on to his eyes, finishing them off, and we're nearly there. So as you can see, I've added the pupil to the eyes, ready for resining. So I've laid the smudge down flat so the resin doesn't escape, should stain his eyes. I'm just going to mix up 1:1 ratio of resin and hardener. So once I've made a teardrop shape into the eye, I'll let that cure for 24 hours and then varnish, and then we're done. Here he is, smudge.